Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From Pixel Legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
Ooh, look at that. We're on the air. Woo, happy Monday, everybody, if you're listening to us on Monday. If not, then happy whatever day it is. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and good day, and hello, and Mike, what's going on? How you doing, buddy?
I don't know how to react right now because I'm throwing off my game. I'm used to like being the one that talks first.
Well, you
So-
were talking, so I jumped in.
I didn't even realize we were recording. I went up and say, okay, I'm ready to go. And then all of a sudden you started talking. I looked up and we're in the red. So there. Yeah. Hi everybody. Welcome to the BM show. Laugh out loud like you heard about a minute ago. Thanks to Ben not notifying me of what's actually going on.
Well, we're up and running, and we're here, and it's a new day, it's a new week, it's a new show, and we're here and we're live. Well, now we're live. We're live recording this. We're not live. Listen, if you're listening to us, we're not live unless you're a super premium member.
I am alive. And I'm
We are
live right now.
Yes. We're both alive in the year of our Lord 2025. We are heading into Christmas.
I'm still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive.
All right. Here we are, started in 1887, and I'm still alive. Okay, that was Roddy Piper. All right. So,
Staying alive. Staying alive.
woo, 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 stay alive.
All right, so we got some stuff we got to discuss. This is pretty. You know, it's a good thing that you started because I just realized this is a Ben show. Ben, you have things you want to talk about. Ben, you came up with the topic. Ben.
Yes,
All I see are Bens.
everywhere. It's a pandemic, a bendemic,
It's a Bendemic, yes.
endemic.
Well, so at this point, let's just start with the big deal for next week.
Okay,
Because-
so I watched two of the movies so far. One, and then the other two movies, I know what one is, and you know what the other one is, and this is where we're gonna find out where the other one's gonna find out what the other one knows.
Well, guess what, Ben? I've watched 3 of the movies.
Oh, because you watched yours already. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I've seen mine a billion times, but it's always to get a fresh take on it right before going in the show so that I can see if it still lives up to what it was before, which of course it will, and to see how awesome it actually is. So I decided to sit down and watch it one more time because, like I said, this one's a big deal. This one's a big deal to me. So basically, let's just talk about next week. Next week is, Ben, why did you do this to me? Plus obscure Christmas movies. So we are going to talk about 2 musical movies because nothing says Christmas like musicals.
Yes.
Well, actually, Halloween may say Christmas more than musicals do, but this actually kind of fits into Halloween now I think about it. But anyway, so we're doing 2 musicals that probably everybody in the world has heard of before. And I'm sure everybody has an opinion on them. But you know what? Our opinion is the one that matters because our opinion is the one that you people get mad about.
Yes.
So next week, we're doing reviews of Little Shop of Horrors and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then just like Halloween, we each picked one obscure Christmas movie. The other person does not know what it is right now, but within about 3 minutes, they will. So there was like under the
This is not going to be Home Alone. This is not going to be Charlie Brown Christmas. This is not going to be Muppets Christmas Carol. It's going to be something that is a pretty obscure movie that is a little off the beaten path.
And it's also not going to be Harry Potter, which actually is an interesting one because I was in Rallies one time, and there was a lady that worked there that she was really cool because she'd have the most random questions. And one of her questions was, "Is Harry Potter a Christmas movie?"
The first
And-
one is.
And I'm like, well, why would it? Because I've like seen Harry Potter like once, but I didn't even pay attention to it. She goes, "It takes place during Christmas." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Christmas movie then." And then the people behind were like, "No, it's not a Christmas movie because it's a movie about, magic. Who cares? The setting is Christmas. It takes place at Christmas. It works as a Christmas movie. So it's not going to be Harry Potter. So all you Harry Potter fans, I'm sorry.
There's only
Walkie
to clarify, there's only one Harry Potter movie that can qualify as a Christmas movie, and that is Harry Potter and the Chamber and the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone, depending on which side of the pond you're on. And
Doctor.
that is only because they actually have a actual full scene where they do Christmas gifts. Now,
That is-
Christmas, if you're talking about the books, Christmas is part of every single one of the books.
Okay.
The books are way longer. They're way more expanded. Like if they actually did the movie to the books, it would be 2 or 3 movies for every single book.
Mhm.
You think the Lord of the you think the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit was ridiculous. You think the Hobbit was ridiculous. At least the Hobbit. I mean, with the Hobbit, there wasn't the Hobbit's a 300 page book for children, right? And they turn it into 3 movies, 3-hour movies. If they did that with Harry Potter, the longest Harry Potter book, if they did that with the longest Harry Potter book, that might be just long enough to get all the details in from the book.
Dude, the last Hobbit movie was 3 hours of like one battle.
Dude, I watched the last Hobbit movie. I was on the way back from Korea. I was on the airplane, and I kept thinking of that joke of like we were watching a plane on the plane. We were watching a movie that was so bad, 3 people got up and walked out. I'm like, this is so bad, but I'm like, let me just finish The Hobbit. This is once I'm done, I don't ever have to watch The Hobbit ever again, which is how I feel about certain movies I've seen this weekend. Anyways,
So going back to Harry Potter really quick. So yes, we're not going to do Harry Potter. And if I have my way, we will not do Harry Potter ever.
so coming up next week, we'll be doing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. No, I'm not doing that one. We do the Philosopher's Stone. You have to watch the British version. In the British version, they're all American kids, and they go to school in America.
Yeah, and they're basically talking like, "Dude, that's a sick spell, yo." I think I was just getting myself to like the '80s with that one.
They're in Boston. It's like the school's out of it's in Massachusetts, so everybody's like, "Yo, that's wicked. You got a wicked spell there."
All right, so let's get into this because I said 3 minutes and it's been like 8. So so basically we're about to reveal our movies. Now I'm gonna do my reveal first. And my reveal is actually I'm gonna talk about this again really quick before I show it. Last time when we did Halloween, I picked a movie that I absolutely loved. That movie, I don't even know if that movie would be in my top 10, maybe my top 20, or maybe even further. This time we are going for my number 5 movie of all time, which you've already seen my number 1 and number 2, and you completely hated my number 1 movie, which is okay. I mean, I hope that you left some negative comments so I can regurgitate them. But no, my number 5, and maybe actually one day, maybe we'll get to my number 3 and my number 4. Actually, we will get to my number 4 now that I think about it, but we may never get to my number 3. That's okay. Anyway, I'm beating around the bush. So my movie is a Christmas movie. My movie is obscure, and my movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. In addition to it, Ben, you had a hint to my movie already because you asked me a question and you said, "What does TR mean?" And I said, "That's a note for myself." So
Oh, I
my
the movie it already.
is it was that we're going to watch is this one right here,
Yep. The
The Rep, with Dennis Leary.
ah cool. I think I might have seen. I think I saw a review of this, like one of those in-depth one where like the guy like goes on for 30 minutes. Oh, kind of like we do. Well, anyways,
And I'm going to specify, I am not joking when I say this is my 5th favorite movie of all time. So I'm definitely looking forward to talking about this one next week, and I hope that you like it. I hope that you have the opposite feelings for it that you had for Tenet.
well, there's only one way to find out, and that is to watch it. So I will be watching that this week along with my pick,
Okay, let me stop sharing.
if I'm able to share it, because I'm using the same browser. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. Okay, well. So this one here is I have not seen this since I was a child. You said obscure, so that's the direction that I went. I went
Yeah.
very obscure. I went with something that a certain segment of our audience might have seen when they were children and haven't seen since.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have had something from the toy line. I don't. Let me know when you see it.
Here comes Transformers.
No, there was a Transformers one.
He-Man and She-Ra. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen this.
I watched it when I was a kid. I think if I didn't, I'd be very surprised because I was very much into He-Man, and because of that, I was also into She-Ra somewhat. Plus, like when I was a kid, like I didn't like they never came out and said that they were part of the same universe. But like as a kid, I started putting it together. Could like they did, but they didn't. Like they did it in passing. It wasn't like they threw it in your face and hey, we're the same universe.
Yes.
But there was so much similar. It was like it was ridiculously similar that even like I mean, as a child, I am putting together with very little evidence. This is taking place in the same universe. It's like wow, she uses the same graphics and talks about Grayskull and has the same. Is this He-Man but a girl?
Absolutely. This is gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to watching this.
Look at all the different artwork they have for it. It's ridiculous. I'm like looking through, like, look at this one. This one looks like a Christmas card.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, I thought wait, go back to I thought for a second when I looked at that, I thought He-Man was grabbing her boobs because of the She-Ra line. Where his man goes to. It's gonna be a very Merry Christmas for He-Man this year. He-Man, you're gonna get a present. The problem is you gotta wait 9 months.
He-Man. I have to go back to my universe now. Bye, sis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, their brother and sister separated at birth. I do believe they go over some of the backstory during this. I don't know. There's 2 crossover movies. I think this is the second one.
Who's the drunk cousin in that picture?
Oh, this guy in the corner?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Washman or something?
no, that's Phaelus. Phaelus is he does movie reviews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to like He-Man be like, we're going to protect Grayskull. It's like, dude, can I just do the line first?
Well, you know what's cool about him is that okay, so you remember we did our favorite YouTube channels and I talked about Allison Pregner?
Mm-hmm.
That's her boyfriend.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
It's also like her producer, I think, because like the stuff's on like all her stuff's on his website. So he's like he's the overall producer for the whole thing.
The fudge is Skeletor holding. It looks like Astro from the Jetsons, like baby dog.
Oh yeah. They have a dog in this. It has to. It's from what I remember, it's 2 Earth kids get sent to Eternia, or not Eternia, but the place where She-Ra lives. She doesn't live in Eternia. She lives in another place, whatever. But they have to find a way to get the kids back home, and that's the story. And somehow during the way, they end up meeting She-Ra and He-Man and Skeletor. And yeah. I know. I remember a little bit more than that, but I don't want to go that too far into it until we're doing it next week.
So if you're listening to this episode, be ready for next week because it's going to be a colossal train wreck.
Here's the kids who get sent to He-Man world. So it's like, and they're hooking Skeletor. I'll have to find out. What's that?
They're molesting Skeletor.
Poor guy. It's like,
He was like, "It's okay, kids. I got She-Ra over here. I've been grabbing on her for a while." Orko's like looking down, like, "Dude, that kid is going to town on you, Skeletor."
look at He-Man's face.
That is.
Look at He-Man's face. I don't know. I don't know if I can zoom in and you can see it. Or I can't even zoom in. Never mind. Not now. He's got this most concerned look on his face, but he's looking over here at the Cupid or whatever his name is over here. What's his name? I forget his name. I haven't seen. That's the thing that's going to come back. I haven't seen this show in so long. I don't remember who any of these characters are.
Are you talking about Orko?
Orko. Yes. Orko. Okay. There we go. There's one person.
I'm thinking he's got that look of, "Now, little Johnny, you don't go BJing Skeletor the moment you see him."
What if it's one of those things like it's like He-Man's doing like Jim from The Office, or where instead of looking at the camera, he's looking at Orko. Like, can you believe what's going on right now?
Well, look at She-Ra. She's just as confused as they all are.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Very, very confusing scene, and we'll find out about it next week when we talk about the He-Man and She-Ra a Christmas special
With Dennis Leary.
in the ref. Yes, Dennis
Yes.
Leary is in the ref. My buddy actually played he played hockey at Dennis Leary's personal ice rink. Yeah, apparently Dennis Leary is like a gigantic hockey fan to the point where he has his own ice rink.
Yeah, people can do that when they're making money hand over foot.
How do you I mean, I know it's something like you got FU money, but to justify getting an ice rink, like a basketball court's a totally different thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to chill a basketball court in order to use it.
Well, you don't need to chill an ice hockey rink in order to use it. You just need to change the sport to water polo afterwards.
That's true. Yeah.
And you're good.
You're good. You could simulate running through a gigantic puddle if you want.
Yeah.
Pick a pond. You can go fishing. You can dress up like Link and go fishing.
Well, there's plenty of games where you dress up.
Yeah.
And you fish. I'm sorry. I meant to say there's plenty of games.
Yes, there's many games where you could dress up and fish.
And you know what one of those games is where you could dress up? Resident Evil, because we use that with every example.
Every example, it always Resident Evil seems to fit almost every example of what's wrong with gaming. You know another thing that's pissing me off about gaming? It's not that Resident Evil just
Poor Resident Evil.
they're our scapegoat. It's like
All right. You got some stuff you want to discuss?
yeah, I wonder if I should pull up graphics about it. So I did a video about how Warner Brothers and Netflix, the whole thing that's going on with that. And
Oh yeah, that was hot.
Yeah. It's so hot. Very hot. They go and gets, oh no, Variety wants me to disable my ad blocker. Let's see here. There we go. Time Magazine. Perfect. That'll work. Share screen. And we want to look at this, I think. Oh, here's what I want to look at. Okay, share. Can you see it? Time Magazine.
I cannot see anything. I cannot see what to know about Netflix massive and controversial deal to acquire Warner Brothers. I'm just guessing that's what it says.
Okay. I didn't read this article. I just pulled this up because I just wanted the graphic, but I figured it's connected to the article. All right. So what happened here is that Netflix, if you haven't heard, whatever rock you're living under, does any room for me? Netflix has bought Warner Brothers, as everybody has heard, for like $80 trillion or something, some ridiculous amount of money. And you knew the sale was coming if you were following. They had a huge sale on HBO Max where they were selling it for $3 a month to drive up their subscriber count, because that helps when there's bidding to show, look how many subscribers we have. They, for some reason they don't put together that you made this happen by doing a huge promotion right before the sale date. I don't know why the executives don't. I don't know if they don't put this together or what, but I guess whatever. Anywho, they got bought out by Netflix, and the big question is, what does Netflix own versus what does Netflix not own? Netflix has bought Warner Brothers, they bought their catalog, their studio, they bought HBO, and they bought HBO Max. Everything else they do not want. They don't want TNT, TBS, they don't want CNN, they definitely don't want CNN. What's that?
So what you're saying is they don't want Tiny Toons?
No, they have they got the back catalogs. That comes with, that's Tiny Toons.
They got Animaniacs also?
They got Animaniacs. They have the Looney Tunes.
So
Here's what they
I
don't have.
want you to
Okay, so
hold on, Ben.
there's a
I
lot
want
of
you to
what's that?
hold on, Ben. Ben, I gotta say, I want you to know, by saying that, by specifying they have Tiny Toons, yeah, Animaniacs, you probably just stopped a massive riot. Because some people are so crazy, especially about Animaniacs.
Yeah, no, because the Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, the Looney Tunes, those all fall under Warner Brothers. At one point, the Warner Brothers catalog was split into two. This is many, many years ago. And thanks to Ted Turner, of all people, whether you like Ted Turner or not, or even know who the hell he is, he was a billionaire. I think he's still around. He bought all the Looney Tune catalog and brought them all back together. TNT and TBS, Turner Network Television, Turner Broadcasting System. They're named after Ted Turner. So there, there's your history lesson. So he bought all the Looney Tune cartoons back, brought them back under control to one company, and then that company got bought out by Warner Brothers, bringing all those Warner Brother cartoons that once were owned by MGM and Paramount and whoever back under the Warner Brothers umbrella. So they own that. They own Casablanca, one of the movies that we reviewed. I'm trying to think. They do not own. Okay, here's where I'm seeing people reporting incorrectly. They do not own Friends. Friends, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong. Maybe they do own Friends, but from what I understand, I think Friends is owned by Sony. Which, if they're own, actually, let me look that up now. I actually looked it up in ChatGPT. Let me know. Can you see my ChatGPT window over here?
No, but actually, when you did that, the screen got bigger.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. It's kind of driving me nuts. You want to reject all those cookies?
Where's that asking about the cookies? Oh, reject.
Thank you. I'm one of those people that like all those windows drive me insane.
Okay, so Warner Brothers does own Friends. So scrap what I just said there. But the one thing I did see was Harry Potter. They own
Harry Potter.
They own the rights to Harry Potter, yes, but they do not own the intellectual property of Harry Potter. They own the licensing rights. And that licensing rights will expire at some point. Harry Potter is still owned by J.K. Rowling, which is why she has so much control over the property. So, yeah, they might have Friends, they might have all these other shows, but at some point, if they ever piss off Rowling, she can pack up and move to Disney or wherever. So that's one thing. What's that?
That would be interesting if that happened, because of what the kind of stuff that she said recently that's enraged a lot of the community. I don't know if Disney would take her, because Disney has like the opposite outlook on what she's said.
A lot of stuff is mirroring the current administration and trying to keep him happy, because there's a lot of companies right now that are merging, and they're merging. A lot of it is out of necessity. There's too many companies doing too many of the same thing. Remember the video? I mean, we weren't like that old to really. I mean, you might remember a little bit more than I do. The crash of 1983 in video games. Do you remember about that?
Yes.
And what happened with that was what? There was too much product, and a lot of the product was shit, which made everybody think that all the product was shit, even though there was still some good games. And it crashed the entire market. And we're pretty much getting saved from that because at one point there was too many streaming options. Everything had a streaming option. I'm so glad that a lot of them went out of business and they started to merge because we went from having Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, and these are just the ones that are still around. Peacock, they're still around. AMC Plus is still around. BBC has one in America. I think they have a streaming one in America, and then there's BritBox. And I mean, it's just on and on and on and on and on. But never mind the ones that have went away. Imagine if they all stuck around, they'd crash the whole damn thing. It would be the gaming crash of 1983, but streaming. Because if, oh, geez, man, I got 15 sites I signed up for, 14 are crap. I guess they're all crap. And it'll be down to like Netflix again. Because Netflix, because they bought Warner Brothers, they're going to absorb HBO Max. That's my big question. I have HBO Max. I have their $3 promo that they did right before the sale. I took advantage of the sale. And I'm questioning is if they merge HBO Max into Netflix within the next 12 months, will they honor my sale price?
No, that's gone, dude. That's going to be gone.
Well, will they at least honor it until the merger so I can at least enjoy HBO Max, which I think they will at least do that because you know, they're not going to go and just kick a bunch of people off the subscription roll. I think what they're going to do is they'll offer me a thing where it won't be at $3 a month, which is what I'm paying. It's going to be like, we'll give it to you for $7, which for Netflix right now, that's still a good price.
For Netflix, it's going to be more like, we can't give you it for $3, but we're going to give it to you for close to that. What we're going to do is just add a zero at the end.
30. It's only $30 a month. And if Xbox, right? Xbox is doing that, they're charging $30 a month.
Jeez, that's crazy.
So is PlayStation.
That's for streaming games, right?
Yes. I don't know if they still even have a tier for just playing online. Let's see. Is Xbox, that'd be nice if I could do this right. Xbox Gold still a thing? No, Xbox Gold is no longer a thing. Xbox Gold ended in September 2023 and was replaced by a new service called Xbox Game Pass Core. Okay, how much is that? It's $10 a month. So they do still have Xbox Gold. They just call it Core now. And it just allows you to still play online. And I guess you have like a few games that you could pick from their Game Pass catalog, probably the indie games that are on there, not any AAA titles, I would assume, or if it is a AAA title, it's insanely old and well played already. So
see, I don't understand the whole game streaming. I can understand it with like movies, yes, with music, because I mean 20 years down the line, I may still listen to the same music, but I'm not going to be listening to the same music like I did. Whereas with gaming, I don't mind going back, but then I'm at that point under whatever I have the ability to play streaming rather than what I actually have copies of that I could play. So, but I do understand like the music, if it's something that I had streaming, I could go to like YouTube and like listen to the music. Of course, it would be like me listening to it on YouTube nowadays would be like, ba 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 ba. Are you suffering from diarrhea? Do you have menopause? You know, and
imagine if they did that like in the middle of the song.
Yes, I've had that done before.
And he's running a stairway to. Are you having problems with menopause?
What's worse is when it fits the song, the advertisement fit the song. You listen to like, kill me, I wanna die, I wanna die. Gillette and Elk has come out with its new razors, you know, things like that. But it's
or what if the ad was using the song that you're listening to, so you don't even know if the song ended?
You haven't run that one perfectly.
Well, you know what? Some of these people, like if you actually have a human in there putting the breaks in, sometimes you get some clever breaks. I've heard it in podcasts. I could tell when there's a person doing it because they'll go and like even the ad will fit whatever the people were talking about or something. That's clever. AI ain't doing that yet. It will when it gets sophisticated enough. It will be able to do stuff like find an ad specifically, purposely based on what you're talking about. But
That'd be great. So listeners, if you're listening in and you're watching the show and you're hearing the theme song and this happens, is like, laugh out loud is the place to be where geeky minds meet. Are you a geek? Do you want to meet people?
are you
1-900 Love Line.
Are you geeked out on Sora? That's what everybody on Sora that was at one point. All the like if you can have your cameo character and you would have your character float. It would be using the camera like someone's Ring camera on their doorbell, and you would float to their door and just say, "I'm geeked," and that was it. That's all you would do, and everybody was doing it at one point. Even Snoop Dogg did it.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
I just think I just took it as like this is just initiation. This is like how you become part of the community. You make this one stupid video that everybody else did, so I made one too.
So, by the way, we're 30 minutes into this episode.
Yes, we are, but we did reveal the movie, so we're doing the Ref and He-Man and She-Ra's Christmas special, which for some of you, you're like, oh man, I haven't watched that since I was a kid. So you're going to hear us review it.
This is going to be exciting. But now, do we have anything else that you wanted to discuss before we get to our topic?
I did have some, but I would have to censor the pictures, and I forgot to do that. I was wrapped up in other projects. I was watching movies. I was watching 2 musicals, so I got a little wrapped up.
Were they rap musicals then?
No, they were all stuff for next week.
Ah, okay. That's good for you to get ahead.
Yeah, one got a page full of notes, and the other one I don't have any notes on at all. So, yeah. Notes usually don't mean good things.
Well, we'll find out next week.
I wanted to remember what I was angry about, so I wrote it.
Okay, so we have a topic tonight, and this is actually your topic. So you get to introduce a topic, and you get to kick it off.
All right. So we're going to talk about favorite game developers / publishers. These are like, if you hear that, there's one particular company is releasing a game. They don't even have to tell you what the name of the game is. You know that the game's going to have a certain level. It's going to have a level of quality. It's going to have a certain look to it. And there's a good chance that you're probably just going to buy it sight unseen maybe, or you're going to be into it is the point. So let's just go straight to the top. You want to go straight to the top?
Are you going to share an image of that developer or publisher?
No. I thought you would, like, after I say the name of it. Or do you want me to find it?
Because I already got mine set up. So
Okay, hold on. I will find it then. Hold on. Well,
Technical difficulties, people.
This big developer is one of the biggest of all time. Everybody who's ever played a video game, this is usually the first company you think of when you think of video games. I literally am like giving this away. This is not even a trick question, folks. Like, this is something like you should know who I am talking about. And I'm going to share my screen. Are you ready?
Go for
I need to share my screen with this. Here we go.
Oh, it's your breakfast now.
What?
You don't, oh, wow. You don't remember the Nintendo? It's for breakfast now.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. The Nintendo video breakfast game system or something like that. Yep.
Super Mario jumps in a fruit-flavored crunch.
Oh, look at this. This must be their Japanese logo. That's cool. And this is when they were a playing card company. And here's their logos throughout the year. This is when they used to make 50s style cars.
That's where I was going to.
This is the one we grew up on. This was on Nintendo consoles. And it's Nintendo. This is pretty much their modern day logo here. You're gonna get a well put together game that's thought out. You're not gonna get stuck. If you get stuck, it's something that you're missing. You're never it's very good level design. Everything's tested. It's going to work on your hardware. It's everything's just Nintendo is the pinnacle of this. This is why they survived so long.
Mm-hmm.
They're the little engine that could. They're up against Sony and Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't small. They're up against companies, divisions. You hear these stories of a couple of weeks ago. I'm going back in entertainment news for a second. They had YouTube TV had a dispute with Disney, so all the Disney cable networks and TV networks were pulled off of YouTube TV. To Disney, that's a big deal because they depend on the money that they were getting from YouTube TV. YouTube TV is a division of YouTube, which is a division of Google, which is a division of Alphabet. You see where I'm at? They didn't give two shits. YouTube TV had to give all the money back and made nothing for a month because it's a part of their business, a small part. Where on the other side, it's their total business. Here, it's the opposite, but the same. Nintendo, it's all their business. But because they played their cards right, they're the only ones where it is all their business that is still in the hardware game, where everybody else where it was all their business because they made some screw up move. May it be, Sega Saturn is available today at select retailers. Go get it now instead of waiting till September when you could actually have some games that go with the damn thing. Or, numerous other mistakes that companies have made over the years. Nintendo never made that. Oh yeah, they made the Virtual Boy, but you know what? The Virtual Boy wasn't their only product. They didn't put all their eggs in one basket. There were people in management who knew that the thing could probably fail, so they set it up where if it did, it didn't bring down the ship with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have missteps? Wii U was a misstep, but they corrected. They always correct. Is the Switch 2 a misstep? It might be. It's right now. It's selling really well. But are they selling games? Are they overpricing themselves? Well, if they do, Nintendo will find out. They'll know before we do that they need to fix it, and they will fix it because they always do.
Well, see, that's the thing that Nintendo does well on the fixing part is that they tend to do a system, and that does super well.
And then they get hubris, and their next system sucks.
Exactly. The next system sucks. And then what they do is, okay, let's correct this by making another system and just burying this one. And then that system does really well. I mean, the best example of this is going from GameCube to Wii, then to Wii U to Switch. The GameCube really didn't do great. Wii sold like crazy. Wii U was too much like Wii, so it didn't do well. And then they did the Switch, and that just took off. So I'm expecting you're going to get probably about a year and a half out of the Switch 2, and then it'll be dead, and we'll already be hearing that the Switch 3 is coming out Christmas of 2027.
If they're going to do it, if they're going to cut it off that quick, they're not going to call it the Switch 3. They're going to dump that name.
Yeah.
That name is now tied to failure.
Yeah. And they're going to make something different and something new, and that's what they did from Wii U to Switch.
The thing is, I don't think that the Switch 2 is a bad product. I just think that they haven't really, they might have released it too early. They maybe should have waited until they had like 20 great games, or well, maybe 20 great games, but like maybe 6 great games, but 20 total of like titles that, yeah, you go pick up like the Madden, and while you're picking up Madden, pick up this new Super Mario Brothers game and stuff like that. Like, they don't release them with Mario titles really anymore. And that used to be like, it always came with a new Mario title. And a new Mario title was supposed to be the title that shows off, this is what the system can do. This is what you can do on this Mario 64. Who played a decent 3D game before playing Mario 64? And then you play Mario 64 and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that a video game system could do this.
Can I say one thing?
Yep.
So you're right in that no one played I didn't play a decent 3D game before Mario 64, and when I played Mario 64, I still hadn't played a decent 3D game. Ooh.
One of the things that they mastered, and you learn in Mario 64 and games along that are like that now, is where's your shadow? Because when you're trying to figure out where you are, like up above or whatever, your shadow tells you everything. Stuff like that. It's like, because I tried playing 3D isometric games on Nintendo, and that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
I do appreciate the foreshadowing in the image above where it just says end. Oh,
Endo.
End. Oh.
And
Somebody doesn't have very much hope for Nintendo at this point. There's actually two end O's. The other one's kind of like Tendo, but it's like end O.
Well, let me endo my screen sharing. Yeah, so that's Nintendo, where you could always count on them for a level of quality that you just know you're gonna get.
No. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As much as we crap on Nintendo, at the end of the day, we know we're going to get something that's good. It's just we know that we have to deal with Nintendo drama that goes with it.
It's just like how Disney used to be, where it was like, if it was a Disney animated movie, you knew it was going to be just awesome because it's a Disney animated movie. These are the people who brought you, I'm about to say Animaniacs. You got Animaniacs in my head now. The people who brought you Beauty and the Beast and brought you Snow White and brought you Pinocchio, of course this is going to be of a certain level. And then over the years, like the most recent years, especially, a lot of those quality standards have been wavering. But Nintendo, they've never really wavered on it. And they've always stayed strict where mainline Nintendo titles only show up on Nintendo systems. They did Mario Run one on mobile phones. That was it. Mario Run and Pokemon Go. There are no other that I could think of. I mean, I'm sure if I'm wrong, please in the comment section tell me I'm wrong. But how many Nintendo games are officially out? So don't ROM me. Which ones are officially out for other consoles, other platforms? And it's literally Mario Run and Pokemon Go. That's it.
Yeah.
That I can think of, And like I said, let me know if there might be one for Mario Kart too.
Yeah.
There's Mario Kart World.
Yeah, so there's 3 of them. Mario Kart World.
Which was a launch title. And I think isn't there a Donkey Kong game?
Maybe. I don't know. But the point is, you're not getting a ton of them or money at all, really. You're only getting a handful, and they're usually not the actual mainline titles. You're not seeing Super Mario, Mario Wonder is not out on the Xbox. As much as Microsoft would love to have that, especially if they can get it and Sony didn't. Which that's when that's what they were probably hoping it would go, and that's when I think Microsoft started backing off when they realized that Nintendo was be like, oh yeah, you can put your stuff on our system. We're not putting our stuff on yours. This is a one-way street. You want to put Xbox Live on Nintendo? We're for it. You want to put Mario on Xbox? No.
See, Nintendo's like that really hot Psycho X you have. That's like if there's no one else, I'm gonna kill you. But then you realize that she has some really nice tatas, and she doesn't mind going motorboating now and then. So it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah, she might go and spray paint my car at 3:00 in the morning. But you know what? The sex is amazing.
Dude, just to transition really quick here. So I had a friend who one time told me that she's like, yeah, my ex made me so mad, I went and I slashed his tires. Later that same time that she was visiting, she turned to me, she goes, you never asked me out. And I'm like, because I care about my tires.
I care about my tires. I was here that day. You remember, right? When you said that, 5 minutes ago, I was here. I heard it from you.
Yep. All right. So I'm up now. And when you're talking, I'm like, oh dude, he's going to pick my choice. Now, I want to get something clear here. Is I have to go off of how I felt before, because nowadays I don't really follow developers as much. And I don't tie my like faith to the developing team or the publishing team to make something that's good. I do for the opposite. Like if I saw something that's like, if I play something that's really bad, usually I'll go and see who it is. I'll be like, oh look, it's Devolver again, or it's Inti Creates, or it's Rockstar, or it's the that one company that made that really awesome spaceship shooter as their first game, and then everything else was garbage after that. 3D Realms. So I notice I find the ones that I don't like, and I realize I keep hitting games of theirs that I don't end up liking. But when I like it, it's just kind of like, okay, I think more about the game itself rather than who's making it. So I'm going back in time here. And there was a period in my life where I was like this. I was like, game developers, I got to follow these ones. So this was one of my top ones, and everybody knows it. And if you've ever put quarters into arcade machines, sometimes the company is so egotistical, narcissistical, you will drop a quarter in and a voice will come back saying that actual company's name. So that would be these guys right here.
Capcom.
Capcom, yes. Capcom really, I really like, way back in the NES, I really like they had that Capcom Challenge series, which there were games that are just like really, really difficult. And then you get into the 90s and they picked up Street Fighter. And obviously, that did it for me right there. I'm done at that point. It's like, I don't care what you put out. Capcom, just take a dump in a CD case and sell it, and I will buy it at that point. So yeah, I think, and they've been around forever.
Yeah.
And I think really when they hit Street Fighter is when they really got big. I don't think they were as big on Nintendo, the Nintendo days, but yeah, everybody knows Capcom at this point.
Yeah.
Even not playing video games, Capcom because you went to go see the Resident Evil movies. And that's my time with Resident Evil.
Yeah. I can imagine you didn't spend a lot of time with him. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Capcom is it's one of those companies where, like, I mean, what are they doing nowadays?
Basically cashing in on all this, all the anniversary releases that they're making for all the games that they made in the 90s and 2000s that people still can't get by. They just can't pass. They can't move on from them.
Yeah, and it's nice that they have a nice deep back catalog to do that, but it's like, well, what are they gonna do that's like this generation is gonna get into? Because, one day they're gonna have enough money to buy games on their own, and they're gonna want to play the stuff they grew up on,
And the way they do these anniversary things, it's like, this is our new Street Fighter anniversary version. Okay, so what's in it? It's got Street Fighter Super, and Street Fighter Hyper. Next month, we're releasing another Street Fighter Anniversary Edition. Okay, so what's in that one? It has Street Fighter Hyper, and Street Fighter Ultra, but it doesn't have Super. So if you want to get Super, you have to get the first one. But if you want to get Ultra, you got to get the next one. And that's kind of what they do.
Yeah. No, it's a little BS what they do with it. It's nonsense. They try to get as much money as they can out of it because it's like what they're doing with Street Fighter. Like so what you were saying, what they did the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which had most of the Street Fighter games, and then the ones that it didn't include, they just took them and broke them up and threw them into other sets.
Well, what's really messed up is that with that they did the Street Fighter Anniversary version they have Street Fighter Alpha 3 on. They have the arcade version, which is the one with 31 characters. But when you go to like Dreamcast, it added another like 4 characters, and then you go to PSP, it added another 5 characters that actually got locked up since the PSP days. The problem is they then updated it to release all those characters finally, but they didn't update it on the Street Fighter Anniversary Edition like they could have. They updated it in the Capcom Fighting Collection too. So you have to buy, if you want to get like Street Fighter 3, you have to buy the Street Fighter Anniversary. But if you want to get all the characters in Alpha 3, you have to buy the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yep. Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense because Alpha 3 is the Street Fighter game.
Yeah. But instead of having it where you just buy a DLC or have them add it later or whatever, it's not a full collection, which it's like, yeah, it's BS. But what are you going to do? It's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a company that actually has released some really good collections lately.
Is that where you're going?
That's where I'm going. I might be taking one of yours.
Okay.
But if I am, I'm sorry. But you had to know this company was going to be coming. Not for more. Mostly, it's not really. I mean, they're kind of doing what Capcom is doing, so they're in the same vein, but they do a better job with re-releasing their old stuff.
Yeah. Does it start with K?
Yes.
Yep.
Konami. I mean, if if I'm scrolling too fast, I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's not too fast for me, but I realize it comes up pretty fast on the video. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection, is a pretty much full collection. I don't think there's anything missing. If there is, I'll leave it in the comments. The Castlevania Advance collection is to supplement the Castlevania is the only one they kind of split up into multiple collections. There's the Castlevania What's that?
They split it up into like 4 collections.
Yeah, that's the only one that they actually split up into like a bunch of collections. But then like I'm looking for the Contra one. I might have passed it already.
Also Metal Gear. The Metal Gear Solid was split up into like 4 within itself.
Yeah, but at least they're not calling these like the complete collections, and they're not complete collections. Like they're giving it at least a name. Where was it? Did you see the Contra collection?
I didn't see it. No.
I'm gonna slow it down. Maybe I'm just going too fast. I'm going too fast. I can't even see it unless it's just not here.
Here it is.
There's Operation.
Oh, that's Operation Galuga.
Yeah. It's not even here.
Yeah. Hey, there's Matt's favorite collection, Gradius Origins.
Yeah, I was never that big a huge shooter fan. Like there also was shooters. Like if I have one, I feel like I have all of them.
Yeah, I think it's funny that episode where we were talking about those games that you just can't stand, and he throws out Gradius. We're like, really? Yeah, I don't see a Contra collection. I just see the Conjuration Operation Galuga.
Let's see here. What am I going to PlayStation 4? Well, they have a Contra collection. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not here. Maybe they don't offer it anymore. Maybe it's out of print. A digital game is out of print. Well, yeah, but they got the Contra collection, which was awesome. The Contra collection and the original Castlevania collections, they actually released updates to add even more games. So that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't see that for Street Fighter. So it's like some companies now here's a problem with Konami now. Konami is they went into pachinko machines. And there's belief that Konami might be involved with the Japanese mafia. I don't know. This is a belief that some people have. I don't know enough to really care either way, just so you don't kill me. And because of that connection, it's really kind of soured their name with some people. But I think that these really awesome anniversary collections that they've been putting together, where they've been releasing a lot of their back catalog, like yes, Castlevania, it's like 3 or 4 different sets, but it's there.
Mhm.
And as long as you have a PlayStation, you can get all the Castlevanias. You need to have a PlayStation because 2 of the games are specifically only for that. Yeah, like if you want to do the Castlevania that was on PC Engine, which one was that?
Rondo of Blood.
Rondo of Blood. If you want to do Rondo of Blood, you can only do Rondo of Blood. I believe the PC Engine version is only available. I have to be specific about this because there's a lot of nerds are going to correct me. It's only on PlayStation. If you want the Super Nintendo version, you can get Castlevania X and all that. You can get that on anything. But the PlayStation is the only way you could find the PC Engine Castlevania.
Huh?
What's that?
Castlevania is my favorite series, so I'm going to say, huh?
I mean, for the modern consoles, Mike.
No. So Castlevania, I think there are 2, if I remember off the top of my head, there's 2 Castlevania games on PlayStation. There's Symphony of the Night and there's Castlevania Origins. And Origins is like Castlevania Chronicles.
Yeah.
Which is a take of the first game.
No. I'm not talking about PlayStation 1. I'm talking about PlayStation 4 and 5.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, modern PlayStation. I'm sorry, I wasn't clear on that. Yeah. So the ones that are available for all of them, I don't know if you can, am I still sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm at Nintendo's website, and Nintendo has them right here. But these are all on every system. These are the Advanced Collection, the Denominus Collection, and the Anniversary Collection. And then there's the one that's only on PlayStation. So let me look up PSN, maybe? I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? Why am I not seeing it, Internet? Why aren't you showing this to me? Oh, here it is. Here's a screenshot of it. Castlevania Requiem with Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, available only on PlayStation consoles.
Well, here's my question for you.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little punch in the testes here. Which version has Castlevania Legends?
Okay, so there's that. Then there's one that's not there. Then I don't give a shit, dude. I'm not defending Konami here. I'm just out. I'm not exploring this.
Here's the thing that
What's that?
so Konami had a good run, I would say, through the PlayStation era, and then after that, for me at least, and I think kind of everybody, they started to fail and crash and burn. The thing that happened with Castlevania was the creator of, I want to say he was the creator of Symphony of the Night, came in and took over Castlevania. Like he's still synonymous with Castlevania. And what he did was he said, you know what? I don't like Castlevania Legends. I don't like Castlevania 64. I don't like either of the Castlevania 64 games. So I'm going to completely delete them from the timeline as if they never happened. So those games are kind of just completely gone at this point. I don't think any of the collections even have the N64 Castlevanias on them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like the N64 ones.
So, but the thing was, man, Legends was such a good game. Well, it was okay. So let me rephrase that. Legends was a decent game with the best Belmont character ever, and it just got kind of wiped out of history. So, and then what he does, he says, okay, well, Legends never happened. That was the first game in the series. Now we've wiped that out. So I'm going to redo the first game of the series as a different person. And he made it Devil May Cry. And it sucked. So, and that's kind of when the Castlevania series started to shift into a 3D world, whereas the handhelds were still doing the whole Metroidvania thing.
Hmm.
So, but man, Nintendo days, Konami, awesome. Goonies 2 I have so many good memories of Goonies 2. And they did some good stuff up into the 16-bit and onto PlayStation.
Yeah. They fell out. I don't know what, I mean, I sure can go into the history of it and find out why it all happened, but
Mhm.
it is what it is.
They kind of pulled a reverse Sega. They're like, okay, well, we're not doing good in the software, so let's start making hardware.
Yes, let's get into the thing that's more expensive.
Yes. All right. So we're next for mine.
Yep.
Okay. So keeping with the theme of big names, this is another one that I really loved through the PlayStation days. And I'm going to give you the original name because they actually merged with another company that I really did not like. That's probably a sign of where we're going. And
You got to be there or be.
so I called myself as a joke this company named Slut because anything they put out I'd pretty much buy. So especially during the PlayStation days.
Okay.
So that would be, since you already know where we're going, it is this company right here. Boom.
Be there or be square.
So yeah, Squaresoft is another one that I feel like they had a good run in those early days through PlayStation. They merged with Enix, which I didn't like because I never liked the Dragon Warrior series all that much. I didn't mind one, but everything else was, and something with the Enix games as they were, most of them I couldn't get into. Where was I going with? Oh yeah, so PlayStation, it was, you put it out, I'll buy it. And if you think about it, a couple games in my top 10, high top 10, to be accurate, about 3 and 6 are Squaresoft games.
Hmm.
So to this day, I'll see Squaresoft and I'll be curious, but I kind of back away a bit
Yeah.
because of what's been going on with the Final Fantasy series. Because that's their big series. So, and it's just changed over so much time that it's like not the same company it was before. However,
And then they take their old games and they change them so that they match the new game style. And it's like, but then why are you doing that? You know, I can see like if you took the old game style and you upgraded the graphics, you add some enhancements to make it easier to play, maybe, but to go and just say like, okay, we're gonna take like this game that was always this way for years and years and years. Let's call it Final Fantasy VII, by for example. I didn't play either one, so before I start getting hate, but I'm just saying like it's stupid for them to do this. It's just like people people are just in love with Final Fantasy VII.
yeah, they really are.
Love
Well,
it.
the reason being is because a lot of people, that was their first RPG.
I guess. It's just like my first RPG was Dragon Warrior
Mm-hmm.
or Dragon Quest, if you want to go with the official name. But it's like, you know, I'll play it again, but I don't sit there and say like, geez, I wish they could re-release Dragon Warrior 1 into a 3D game that is not not turn-based, where I gotta sit there and constantly hit the button and worry about guys jumping me, and
Yep.
instead of having the slow play style that you could play like while you're like, maybe getting distracted by something else. Maybe you're playing it while you're waiting for a delivery, or you're just playing it because you want to hear the music and you're not really like you're playing it, but you're not looking for something that's going to like tax your brain a hell of a lot, which is what that game is. It's just music, and you get into a fight and you take your time and it's your turn. Okay. Oh, let me just figure out what I want to do. I got to find a spell. I got to find an item in my inventory, and then that's all ending. Like was it Final Fantasy X was like the last one where they did that.
Yeah. Well, they're not dumb. Square is not dumb, and they've figured out how to get around that problem of changing the series but keeping their fans. So and I'm a perfect example of this, because I just bought a Square game on, I guess it was Thursday, that I'm about to start playing tomorrow, since tonight I have to watch He-Man and She-Ra. But what they did was so
I gotta watch He-Man and She-Ra. Like, your life's so hard. Yeah, go ahead.
so what they did was they said, okay, we've evolved Final Fantasy too far to where it's not Final Fantasy that the people know back then. So let's create a whole new series, and they did this twice, whole new series that is Final Fantasy, but we're going to name it something different. So they came out with Bravely Default, and they came out with Octopath Traveler. And Bravely Default is very Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 5 feel, with the job classes and everything. And it's turn-based. Octopath Traveler is more like Final Fantasy 6, which is very character based, but also goes back to turn battles. And both of them have this retro look to them. So they're not dumb, and they know how to still hook me. So,
Cool.
So that's that one.
All right. So I'm gonna stay on this game compilation, classic game compilation ride that we're on, and talk about a company that gets this right.
Mm-hmm.
And that are the folks over at, you see it?
Bally Midway or Midway
Digital Eclipse.
or Digital Eclipse. Okay.
Yeah. This is not the publisher. This time we're talking about the developer. That's
Okay.
the Digital Eclipse, the makers of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection that just came out, which people are upset with a lot of issues with it, but the presentation is top notch. Like, it's got a whole thing where it's like a meld of like gaming and history, and you go through a whole thing. And it's very much like the Atari 50 collection, which they just released a Namco Legendary Pack for. But the Atari collection is just absolutely awesome in so many ways. Like, I'm not even a huge Atari fan, but I do like having the collection of games to play when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yeah, we got the Atari Namco Legendary Pack, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Golden Tee Arcade, which I never played, but I think I played Golden Tee like years and years and years ago. I guess it's good for that. The game we hated, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Readers Rewind. So, not everybody's perfect.
I think Digital Eclipse also just did Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Let's take a look. Invasion of the Buffet Snatchers. That's funny. Atari 50, the anniversary collection. That's what I was talking about. Garbage Pail Kids collection, right? Or Garbage Pail Kids game. Damn.
What did they do just recently within the last week?
They did the Disney Classic Games collection too. I didn't even know that. The Blizzard Arcade game collection. I actually have that too. The Samurai Showdown collection. I have that too. The SNK 40th Anniversary collection. Stay with me. I have that too. I have this. I have the Disney Afternoon collection. I have the Mega Man Anniversary collection. So let's see here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I don't have like all of them apparently. I don't have the worms yet. I'm surprised. That sounds like something I would buy.
What it is, I just saw their logo just recently, and I don't know what it was on now.
I don't know if this is all the games. I think it is. I think this is all the ones they've ever worked on, because this Mega Man Legacy collection, this is pretty old.
Well, isn't Digital Eclipse, isn't that basically somehow associated with Midway?
We don't know.
It's got to be because
They do business with Midway, obviously, because they got the Mortal Kombat collection. So they do business with them, but whether or not they're associated with them otherwise, I do not know.
okay. Because I see I think
Golden Tee is also a Midway title, I believe. I might be wrong on that. But then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I don't think that's a Midway title. Tetris is certainly not a Midway title. That belongs to Sikorsky, whatever the guy's name is, the guy who created it.
Okay.
It's actually owned by the Tetris company, and he's like the guy who runs the Tetris company, and he's actually the guy who developed it in the Soviet Union back like 30 years ago. It's a very interesting story. Everybody, if you look up the history of or the Tetris story, just look up Tetris gaming historian and watch it. It's like I think it's an hour long, but it's so good. He goes and he does up interviews and all this other stuff, like interviews from the time when it was happening, and then interviews modern day and stuff like that, and the whole history of Tetris and how it was developed, and the whole thing where Nintendo had 2 Tetris games at one point, and there was a fight over the license and all that stuff, and then what happened after the Soviet Union collapsed, and who now owns the rights to it, and how he got the rights back to the game he developed and all that. And it's a very interesting listen to and watch. But you can sit there and like put it on and like do paperwork or whatever you got to do, and just listen to it in the background and then look up every once in a while. It's one of those type of programs. But yeah, that is Digital Eclipse. I do like their stuff. I think they do a good job. I think that this Mortal Kombat collection, I think it's going to get better. I think they're going to add stuff to it because there's a lot of people who are asking for stuff that's not there. Like, I want to know where Mortal Kombat for Sega CD is. And I am not the only person looking for it.
So you're transitioning really well into our next one, but you're not now.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing so you can go ahead and start. We can head over to your thing if you want.
So we were just talking about Tetris and Nintendo and the situation, and this is actually where I was going next.
Oh, Tengen.
Tengen, yes.
Which is also Atari, by the way.
Yes, it is. So, and I have so many good memories of Tengen because they came out with so many good NES games. Like you had that Gauntlet, they had Rolling Thunder, they had Super Sprint, and it was just really cool to get those non-official versions of the Tengen games because they just kind of stood out as this different thing when I put them in like my Nintendo, carrying case type setup I had. It just kind of made them pop.
Let me take the screen over.
Oh, you want me to stop sharing?
Or I could just let me see if I can take it from you. Okay, I was going to be able to just take it. But do you see what I'm looking at yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you see right here at the left is the gray, a regular Nintendo cartridge. These are the cartridges that Nintendo made. You had to send your code to Nintendo, and then they would make the cartridge for you. And then Tengen said, "Yeah, I don't think so." And they made their own cartridge, and that is the one that's on the right. Mm-hmm. So, and here are a few of the weird-looking Tengen games. Some of them, they had 4 games that were officially released. One of them being Gauntlet that we see up here, and there was also RBI Baseball, Pac-Man, and one other one. I don't remember what the other one.
I don't remember what it is either.
I'm hoping it would come on. Here's
There it is. There it is. Keep going. One more. There you go. Championship Bowling.
Is that from Tengen?
I'm guessing it is.
That's from Romstar. Romstar is a different company.
Oh, it's not from Tengen.
They're showing the articles showing that to show what another ROM cart looks like versus.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is the one that has the rabbit chip in it, which is.
There's Super Sprint as we go by.
Yeah, I recommend also with these guys. Like, there's a whole gaming historian video about the history of them and this whole reason why they have these different looking cartridges. Like, we give you like the quick response to it, but if you really want to deep dive into it, Norman put an amazing video together for Gaming Historian. If you can't tell, I really like the Gaming Historian channel. It's one of those you can put on and just like listen to it for hours, and you might not pick up everything he's laying down, but you'll come out knowing more than you did when you started.
So going back to Tengen here, I think that the main draw to Tengen for me were those three: the Gauntlet, Rolling Thunder, and Super Sprint. And the main reason is because those were some of the games that got the most quarters out of me. It's best to be Rolling Thunder, because Rolling Thunder was my favorite arcade game of way back as a kid. So I would just pop quarter and quarter in. So now I actually had somewhat of a version of that game for home. And Rolling Thunder almost made our comfort games list from the previous episode. That was last week, wasn't it, that we did comfort games? Yeah. That Rolling Thunder was like right about to be the next one that I was going to list, because I could go through that and not even thinking, know when to duck and shoot to shoot the guy, know where every single person would pop out, because I just put so much time into that.
There were only 3 games, so I did cover them all. RBI, Baseball, Gauntlet, and Pac-Man were the only 3 licensed Tengen games. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I actually had the interesting as I had the licensed version of Gauntlet. Well, I should say I still have the licensed version of Gauntlet. I never got the weird case version of it, which is unfortunate. I did get, so I ended up getting Super Sprint. And when I was on a trip with my mom to Reno, and when I got home, it was all glitched out. The first 3 tracks were totally fine. When you get to the 4th track, it was just garble like all over the place. It was still actually playable, but it was garble all over the place.
Yep.
And I just remember my mom was like, "Are you sure the game isn't supposed to be like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, there's no way you could play this." So we had to wait until she went back to Reno to return it to get a brand new one. So that was the only time I've seen actually like a defective Nintendo game. That's just not like all of them are defective, just that one is defective.
There was like a couple games where they actually were released with bugs, and then they had to release like revision A versions of it. And it would be one of those things like, if you called them and complained, they would tell you to send your old cartridge in, and they would send you a replacement cartridge type of thing.
But yeah, that affects all of them.
What's that?
That would affect all of them.
Which might have been with Super Sprint. You might have gotten revision the first. You might have gotten the first version, and then they had to release a revision A to fix it.
Who knows? But I've never
Pretty fast with that. Usually, like when they find out about it, like when I say pretty fast, as fast as they could be during the time. During the time, the world used to work a lot slower than it does now. But yeah, they would recall old copies and then ship out new copies as soon as they could, which it would take a couple days at least.
Yeah.
So cool. So that was Tengen, the wonderful people over there. Are you ready for this? Is gonna be my last one because we're getting close to ending time, anyways.
Yeah, and then I'll just do one more after that, and we'll call it.
Okay, so I started with Nintendo. What do you think's the best one to end with if I'm starting with Nintendo?
I would probably have to say Tengen.
What is the only company that almost put Nintendo out of business by beating them at their own game?
I'm thinking you're gonna go with Sega. There you go.
Sega. I'm on the Sega official website. I probably should have brought up the logo but you could tell who it is because of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega has not always been the best, but they've always been consistent on their release. Like you'd always count on like a Sega game nowadays being on like every console and Sonic being on every console. And I'm just a Sonic fan. I grew up with a Sega Genesis, so there's a lot of great games that Sega released over the years. Like I mean, not just Sonic the Hedgehog, the Streets of Rage,
Mhm.
and there's like even Comic Zone and games like that were good.
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah. There's Golden Axe, Shinobi.
Rolling Thunder.
They didn't make Rolling Thunder. They published Rolling Thunder, but they were
Well, they had okay. So they
they
didn't have
own
Rolling
the developer now. Atlas was a developer. They own them now, but they were not the developer.
Atlas was a developer of Rolling Thunder. Are you kidding me?
I think so.
Oh, please tell me it's not Atlas.
Let me see. Now I gotta look it up. Rolling Thunder. I didn't know you could.
Atlas, I'm going
Hello.
to vomit all over my microphone because I don't want it to be Atlas. So the way that I
Oh, I should look up. There you go. Rolling Thunder game.
okay, so let's find out. Rolling Thunder is Namco. That's right.
Oh, okay. No, really? You know what? Then why are you bringing it up with Sega?
Because Rolling Thunder 2 was on Genesis and Rolling Thunder 3 was never in the arcades. It was on Genesis.
Ah. Rolling Thunder was followed by a sequel for the arcade title Rolling Thunder 2 in 1990. The port for the Genesis and Mega Drive was released in 91, followed by Rolling Thunder 3 for the Genesis in 1993. Spawned several clones. Yeah, you're confusing me because like I didn't even know you're like you said like I didn't even think of Rolling Thunder and you keep telling me Rolling Thunder. I'm like,
Rolling
okay.
Thunder
Do they own Rolling Thunder? I don't know. So if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry. I never played Rolling Thunder when I was growing up. So that's it.
If anyone out there listening wants to give me an awesome Christmas gift, get me the Rolling Thunder arcade cabinet.
Yes, go and spend a couple grand and ship it to Mike.
I'm worth it.
Yes, he lives at 123 Main Street in Anytown, USA.
I live in the BM town.
The BM town. So yeah, the home of the Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog, and all his universe, including the universe of movies and everything, and they're still around. Sega almost went under so many times. They made a lot of bad business decisions, a lot of things that could have tanked the company, and it didn't.
And they made an exceptional video game system. Unfortunately, it was their last one.
Yep. They went head to head with Nintendo. They were the best comparison was another thing, another rivalry at the time was WCW versus WWE. It was that and also Sega versus Nintendo. No,
So you had here's the thing about Sega. Sega made some interesting systems. They made the Shatster system first, and then they decided to get a handheld and made the Lame Gear. They went to after that when to get the 60-bit series, they made the Junkasis. And then they decided to get into CD games and made the Suckturn. But then they finally made the Dreamcast, and it wiped all their past problems away, except for it tanked the company.
yeah, the Dream. Love all your names, your nicknames for the game consoles. The Dreamcast, I think that was too late.
Yeah.
They really fucked everything up with the Saturn. And it was all down to the game. The system is now available at select retailers. It pissed off all the retailers. It pissed off the developers. All of a sudden, EA said, we're not going to make Madden for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's a death nail right there. Find me a successful game console that doesn't have a John Madden football game on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're out there, don't get me wrong, and they're usually Nintendo ones, but, you know, they're outside of Nintendo consoles, it's very hard to find a console that did well without having Madden football on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, I even think the Wii U, they might have had a Madden football for that. I'm not sure on that, but, you know, it's one of those games like Madden football is usually like the first and last game to come out on a console.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a launch title, like the last thing that comes out for it. What's that?
And every year in the middle.
Yeah, every year in the middle, because they got to get their $60 a year. You got to get that blood money.
Well, it's kind of good that Sega ended on their Dreamcast because they ended at the pinnacle of gaming. Because the next thing they would have made would have been the Sega No Thanks.
If they wanted to end on the pinnacle, they would have ended with the Genesis.
The pinnacle suckitude.
The Genesis was when they were at their height for name recognition and pop culture success, and they were known as like the people who were disrupting the big boys and the ones who were going to give Nintendo the run for their money, and they did. They gave Nintendo. The Super Nintendo would have been released a lot later if it wasn't for the Sega Genesis, because Nintendo would have just rode out the NES for as long as possible.
Well, they're already making mistakes on the Junkasis. They made also for it the 30 Boo X, and they made the Sega see it in the trash.
Yeah, and my question is, where is Mortal Kombat for Sega CD?
It's in the trash as well.
Yeah. All right. What is your
Okay.
last one?
The last one. This one's going to be a weird one because I always end on weird ones. I want to specify it is not Atlas. Thankfully. What's that?
LGN.
It's not LGN. No. I don't know if you've even heard of this company. You may have, you may not. They didn't do a whole lot, but they did do this logo.
Silicon Knights.
Silicon Knights, the makers of, they actually made the Legacy of Kain series that you may be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
They made Eternal Darkness. They actually made a remake of Metal Gear Solid for GameCube. But I mean, Silicon Knights, they're one of those companies that they were kind of at the status of Atlas, I guess, back then for me, where it's just this kind of obscure company that no one knows about. That's making these kind of bizarre games. And I think that's kind of why I kind of gravitated towards them, was they, with their Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, that just blew me away. That game, there is no movie, no book, nothing that tops that game. It's just mind-blowing how deep that actual game goes. And then there's the rest of the series, which was like jumping in a kiddie pool. But yeah, and that and the Eternal Darkness were just like two of those games that were just like, these aren't just games, these are experiences.
Yeah.
So, and that's what made Silicon Knight so good. So that's why I like them so much, even though they had something happened with them where they had this lawsuit, where they just kind of, the whole company just fell apart and disappeared. I think they went after Nintendo or they went after somebody like Nintendo and then just got decimated for doing so. So it wasn't really a smart move. But hey, it is what it is, right?
Yep.
You live and you learn. So that's what I have to say about them. And I was trying my best. I'm still actually trying while I'm talking, that I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up here because I can. I might as well just share this one since I was talking about them. This is a company that was good way back in the day. They're too big now, and we're paying the price with really bad games. I'm just going to leave it at that.
And with that, I think it's time that we take this thing home. So next week, Christmas movies and musicals that have nothing to do with Christmas whatsoever.
Yep, exactly. They do have, they're giving the gift of music.
Okay.
There you go.
So with the
So
power,
with that, who gets the last word?
I will take the last word. The power of Grayskull.